Hi, this is Kevin Kennedy in the Two Wants to Know office. Earlier this year, we received a call from an Annette Jones, and this is the file that I've started. And Annette had an issue with a car that she had purchased at a local dealership. It was a Ford Focus. She bought the car, loved the car, and drove it for about 6 months, maybe a year. And that's when it started having some issues. She said it was vibrating a little bit, and it was maybe a transmission or a clutch problem. What she did was she took it back to the dealership, and unfortunately they said, we know about the issues. Ford has kind of issued us or given us some directive with the issues, but there's not a whole lot we can do. So she kind of just kept driving the car, eventually taking it back a second time and then a third time. And finally, I guess it fell within the parameters of Ford's guidelines that allowed the dealership to replace the clutch. Well, they replaced the clutch not just once, but twice over about a 2.5 year period of time. So 2 clutches replaced at about 30,000 miles. It was a pretty new car. That's when she reached out to us because it was still having some issues. We got involved. We worked with the dealership to try to get her a replacement car. This is where it gets tricky. She was on a lease. She owed about $18,000, and the car was only valued at $14,000. The GM at the dealership was willing to take back the car, but not at a loss. So he would have to buy that car back at $18,000, but then to sell her another car of equal value, well, the car that she wanted was about a $14,000 car. So he would have to take about a $4,000 loss. He wasn't willing to do that. She agreed to buy that car that was only valued at $14,000 for $18,000. The problem is she needed to lease it, and not too many banks or credit unions will lease you a car for $18,000 if it's only valued at $14,000. Fortunately, we worked with her credit union, and they agreed to go ahead and lease her that car for $18,000. So essentially, we just swapped her from one car to another car. Her payments remained the same. The GM was happy, she was happy, and the credit union was happy. And all she had to do was call our call for action volunteers.